Hello, my friends. It's Melanie Albert here in Cocoa Beach, Florida, in the Love Beautiful Food Studio. And it is my honor and pleasure to be here with you today. Little side note, it is my birthday. And over the years, I have hosted many plant-based farm to table events at different farms and farmers markets on my birthday. So I thought, why not? Why not spend the day doing what I love to do and passing my passion on to you so that maybe you enjoy food a little bit more, you enjoy plant-based a little bit more, you enjoy cooking a little bit more, and enjoy creating beautiful dishes a little bit more. So today is our Love Beautiful Food Thanksgiving pop-up. And I really created this for women who love farmers markets. They love to cook. They love to host. They love to entertain, but maybe they want to elevate a little bit more. Maybe they want to learn a few more cooking techniques. Maybe they want to try some different veggies. Maybe they want to create something a little bit more magical for their family and friends for holidays. And I thought, boy, the best time for me is Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I love that my birthday falls around Thanksgiving. And yeah, that's kind of why I decided to do this. So, what we're going to do specifically here today is we're going to go from the farm, the farmer's market, to the kitchen, to the table. And basically, what I'm going to do is share with you the beautiful veggies that I bought at the Vero Beach Farmers Market this week. Then I'm going to share with you what I call the quick roast method, how to really quickly cook veggies beautifully all the time so that you can really cook any kind of veggies any time of the year with this method, and they're always going to be beautiful. They're always going to be tasty. Then we're going to make a pesto. I've said this before, but I've been hooked on pesto here lately. So we're going to make a really simple pesto. My go-to right now is with a little bit of cilantro and a lot of parsley. I took it to an event a few weeks ago and people loved it. So I'm going to share with you how to make that. And the special thing I feel like I have today is I'm going to give you some different ideas on how you can plate. I call it food art, how you can really make your plate beautiful for Thanksgiving so that even people that don't necessarily love veggies as much as I do, or maybe as much as you do, are still going to appreciate a beautiful veggie dish. But what I wanted to mention is that today, just pay attention. We do have recipe guides. Just pay attention, watch what I'm doing, maybe take some notes, think about what veggies you might want to cook for Thanksgiving, pay attention to the culinary technique, and then you can go and cook later. And you can always come and ask me any kind of questions that you might have now or later. So, we're going to get started with the veggies. Last weekend, it wasn't even that many days ago, a few days ago, my brother Jack and I went to the farmer's market in Vero Beach. And it was the first time going to that farmer's market. And I'm going, I don't know. I don't know. I'm new in Florida. I was in Arizona 20 years. I knew all the farmers there. I knew all the farmers markets in Phoenix. Many of you know we'd have like 6, 7, 8 different farmers markets going on Saturday. So I'm just getting to learn the farmers market and the farmers. And, like going over to Orlando, I love it. It takes an hour and 15 minutes to get to the Winter Park Farmers Market. And I'm going, you know what? Let's check it out. Maybe we have a new one. Maybe we found a new one. So here's the cool thing. We're in Cocoa Beach and we're looking at the map. And Cocoa Beach is a barrier island way out on the east coast of Florida on the Atlantic Ocean. It's called the Space Coast. So a lot of you see rocket pictures and rocket videos that I share. It's happening like 16 miles north of here. But Cocoa Beach is a barrier island, and it runs north and south on the coast of Florida. And the really cool thing is that going to the Vero Beach Farmers Market, we were on A1A. It's now called the Jimmy Buffett Highway, all the way down. So it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful drive. Just a beautiful drive. So that just added to the beauty. We got to the farmers market. Honestly, it looked a little small, and I'm going, oh my gosh, but oh, it's a beautiful day. It'll be fine. Bottom line is, we love the market. We love meeting the people. We love meeting farmers. We love meeting, some new connections there. And the other great thing, and I know most of you aren't here, but it's on like in a park area right next to the beach. So after we did our shopping, we went to the beach. So yeah, come on, you can't. How much better can it get? I loved Arizona so much, but I'm really loving Florida as well. So back to the veggies. Let me show you what we have. So I ended up shopping at two different farmers at the Vero Beach Farmers Market, and both of them use, I'm going to say in quotes, organic practices. One of the farmers has a lot of food that's certified organic, and he gets food from other farmers that are certified organic. The other farmer is not certified, but he uses sustainable practices. So I just have to trust the farmers. And I am going to start where I wasn't going to start, but I've got to tell you, we walked by this small, seemed to be kind of like a small farmer. And this was like the first thing I saw. And I posted this in one of my videos. These were the watermelon radish. And my heart just started going, oh my goodness, the watermelon radish, they are so beautiful. And I'm going, oh my, like literally, my brother Jack was with me, and the picture that you saw, he took it. He goes, oh my gosh, you're so excited. We're going to capture this in a photo and maybe a video too. I can't remember. But anyway, these are the watermelon radishes. Everything I have here is from these farmers, the two farmers. We also got some beets. So I love purple roasted beets are absolutely incredible. You could also roast golden beets, but these were beets from the farmer's market. And my brother Jack loves red radishes. So I bought this, picked out this bunch because it was cute. It looks like it almost has a small purple daikon there. And here's the thing about radishes. Some people really like them cooked. Some people really like them raw. I'm one that likes them cooked. They're a little bit too spicy for me when they're raw. So that's my choice. And then we also have some other veggies that were so beautiful. Into purple these days, purple potatoes. Wait until you see till I cut in these. Absolutely stunning. A couple people, oh my gosh, I can literally smell this pepper while I'm holding it up. Some people were commenting on the social media. They're going, purple peppers. I've never seen a purple pepper before. Yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. They are a different seed. So it's not like the green ones grow into purple. It's definitely a different seed. So you know that. And at the same time, I bought some of they're like greenish yellow, but they're really pretty as well. Green beans, one of my favorite veggies I have found today. And I never knew that, and I've eaten so many. So as I was washing these this morning, and I'll tell you about that in a second, I literally was eating green beans. And what was really cool is I remembered as a kid snapping the green bean and eating it. And that's what we did. Like it was just like, I don't know if you can hear the snap. Anyway, snapping the green bean and eating it. So green beans, I'm really happy. And these do not taste like the store-bought beans. I've got to tell you that. Like I have eaten so many raw. It's almost kind of crazy. Got some little tomatoes. The farmer girl said that these were really sweet and they were a lot of different colors together. So I purchased that one, and they are very sweet, and they will get even more sweet when we roast them. Some Brussels sprouts, one of my very, very favorite veggies. This is actually a veggie that I never loved as a kid, but I'm loving it now. And yeah, and they're pretty too. Little cabbages, we call them, but they're called Brussels sprouts. And my very favorite vegetable to really pop your dish if you're roasting veggies, and wait until you see this. This is half of it because I've cooked some already, but this is a purple cabbage, and I cut into it probably about an hour ago. And look at the beauty inside that cabbage. Yeah, I just have to pause. It is absolutely stunning. And for me, the purple, the cabbage just gives a pop to our dishes. So purple cabbage, I would definitely recommend a purple cabbage for your roasted veggies for Thanksgiving. And I just have a few other things that I pulled from the farmer's market to share with you because I thought it was so cool. So some citrus, they had some oranges, some local navel oranges. And what was even more exciting to me was turmeric root. So turmeric root, we know, is an anti-inflammatory. I learned that a long time ago from Dr. Weil. One of the great things that we want to do with our body is to reduce inflammation in our body. And of course, turmeric root and ginger are great for inflammation. But this turmeric root is just so, so pretty. And we're actually going to plant some of this. And again, the aroma. Like this was another one of those between the turmeric root and the watermelon radish and and the purple and the purple. My heart was just going, oh my gosh, I am so glad we went down to that farmer's market in Vero Beach this weekend because now I have two farmers markets to shop, and I'm really excited about that. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to chop up some of the veggies. We are going to roast them at 425 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And that's the quick roast method. So, I'm going to share that again. I'm going to choose a few veggies, chop them in different unique shapes and sizes, different colors, different variety as we have here. And then we're going to put them in a roasting pan and roast at 425 degrees. I am going to add a little bit of Fox Point seasoning dressing, one of my favorites. You can use any kind of dried seasoning that you like. If you want to use any fresh herbs, you could put them in like maybe the last 10, 15 minutes so they don't burn. And I'm also going to add a little bit of sea salt. Olive oil brings out the flavor in everything. I've been eating, again, back to Dr. Andrew Weil. When I worked with him, it was in 2004. I worked with him in marketing and branding, and I also helped him with licensing in figuring out, if we would put Dr. Weil's name on brands and products, what would they be? What products would they be? Which companies would we want to work with? And Lucchini was actually one of them. We taste tested about 30 different olive oils, and we loved Lucchini and actually had a licensing agreement with them a long time ago. So a really good olive oil. Yeah, I probably go through one of these bottles a week, and it is 16.9 fluid ounces. And my friends that come here, they can tell you that. Like I go through a lot of olive oil. So what I invite you to do is pay attention to the recipe, print the recipe out. I have emailed it to some people, but I can definitely email it out again. And the most important thing is have everything ready before you start. I call that mise en place. Everybody does in the culinary business, but mise en place, everything in its place before we start cooking. So I get so excited about the food, but let's come back to mise en place and get a little bit grounded. So let's all take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I was so excited to be here with you today. I just kind of went, da, 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 but that's okay. So with our recipe, it's a great way to cook veggies, perfect for Thanksgiving. You could use any kind of veggies that you like. What I do recommend is that you first go to the farmer's market, shop the market if you have one. I know seasonality, not everyone has farmer's markets all the time like we do. Well, in summertime, they kind of are not quite as strong here in Florida. But go to your farmer's market first, get some veggies that you're attracted to, and then I call it fill in the gaps with the other veggies from your grocery store. And yeah, still pay attention, still be mindful when you're shopping. So I actually even said on this recipe guide that I updated last night, buy from your farmer's market, such as purple potatoes, which we did, sweet peppers, which we did, green beans, which we did, some radishes, and the cabbage. I didn't have them all, but that was kind of like a really good start from the farmer's market. And then a lot of times at different seasons, you may not have the tomatoes. So then you could always fill in the gaps with the tomatoes. Maybe you also have to fill in the gaps with the Brussels sprouts, and that's okay. But I just thought I'd let you know, first go to the farmer's market and then go to your other grocery stores, mainstream grocery store, natural grocery store. Yeah, I was going to say even online these days, but for me, I personally love to look at the food in person at the farmer's market and in the grocery stores and have the feeling, the mindfulness of being there and choose the veggies that I'm attracted to and also look for the best quality veggies. Yeah, and then I say a few of your favorite veggies. Other ingredients is our olive oil, which I mentioned, our dried or fresh herbs, and our sea salt. So again, just going through that so that you know it's all on your recipe guide. Yeah. There we have it. So now I'm going to get back to the chopping. And what we're going to do is mindfully chop. The very, 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 very important thing about chopping vegetables, and I literally say this all the time, is to have a sharp knife. You want your knife to be sharp. I actually sharpened this morning. And you want a knife that fits in your hand. You don't want one that's too big. You also want a knife that when you cut, it fits on your cutting board. And that kind of brings me to the cutting board. You want a cutting board that's not so small that your knife is going off the edge. So you want to make sure that when you're cutting, your knife stays on the cutting board. So we're going to cut up a few veggies. And I think what I'm going to do is just have fun snapping a few of the beans. But you know what? Only a few because they actually look pretty or not snapped. So we're not going to snap those. That was just Melanie's fun. And we're going to chop the veggies. Unique shapes and sizes is what I always like to do. If there's anything lingering that doesn't look so great, you can always get rid of it. Always a little bowl to the side to throw away any waste that you might have. I like to cut the Brussels sprouts into pieces, kind of like halves. If they're big enough, I actually cut them into quarters, but these are not really big, but they're really beautiful. Oh my gosh. My mouth is watering as I'm chopping. It is so amazing. Yeah. And head down, sharp knife. Be very, very mindful. I'm only going to cook a small pan right now, so I'm not going to cut many, many, many. And let's see what will be next. We are going to have some of the daikon. I was going to call it daikon. It is not daikon radish. It's watermelon radish. So we're going to cut some of the watermelon radish. I remember way back in Arizona, the first time I saw a watermelon radish, I was in awe. And I will tell you, each one, of course, it's nature. Each one will be different. We really don't know exactly how it's going to look on the inside, but we know that each time we cut into a watermelon radish, it will be absolutely stunning. And I can almost smell the spiciness of that a little bit, but I know it will get a little bit milder. And we have our red radishes. My brother Jack wanted some red radishes, and he promised he would not eat them until after my event today. So we have a lot of them here. And I'm actually going to cut that a different way. So one of the things that I love is to pay attention to the anatomy of food, how it looks, and how it looks when we cut into them. So you can see how beautiful the red radish is that way. I'm kind of looking about not getting my cutting board too dirty right away. Not dirty, messy. Some of our potatoes, little purple potatoes, put them flat and cut them gently. Yeah. About similar size for the similar vegetable. And we have some peppers. So since I'm all in awe, that was a little bit intentional, all in awe of the purple pepper, we'll cut into the pepper. And again, paying attention to the anatomy, I do my best to cut around the seeds. I know when I used to do some work for, not some work, a lot of classes for Humana in Mesa, they had a community learning center there. And oh my gosh, even the pepper smells good. I would always cut the peppers and they go, Melanie, like these were women that there'd be 60 women in the room, and they were women, some women came for like 2-3 years. So they got to know me, and I'd be going along and head down, and they go, Melanie, how is it that you don't have the seeds flying around all the time? It's like, because I pay attention to the anatomy, and you can cut around you can cut around the seeds. I'm not going to tell you that it's always no seeds flying, but when you know where the seeds are, you don't have to have them flying everywhere. So we have some peppers. We have our purple cabbage. So I'm going to cut into the purple cabbage. This thing is so beautiful. Wow. Seriously, when you have a beautiful veggie, always pause and enjoy the beauty. Always, always, always. And we will. I'm actually thinking about making a raw cabbage salad. So I'm excited about that as well. I'm actually going to cut out part of the white because it's very, very coarse. And it would take a long, long time to cook, much longer time to cook. So there's the cabbage. And we have the beet. Oh my goodness, the beet. I'm going, oh my goodness, the beet, because the beets are the messy beets as much as I have loved beets. So as a kid, my two favorite veggies were, I was going to say are, because I'm probably still a kid, are were our beets and carrots. So I have no idea where that came from, but the joke was always that Melanie would always have stained little gloves with orange on them from the carrots. So we're just going to cut the beets. Cut a little bit more. There we go. The beets even smell good. So to me, the beets are fresh, but they're also very grounded. Wipe off the knife. One of my teachers also, kind of crazy thing, I always think about this when I'm chopping from one vegetable to another. One of my teachers said that he had a student that said that the strawberries always tasted like garlic. And he said, did you wash the garlic off the knife before you cut the strawberries? And of course, the student said no. So anyway, oh, and some tomatoes. We'll have our tomatoes. We have tomatoes there. Okay. So I think we have a little bit of everything. And what we're going to do is put the veggies into the pan. And then we're going to add our seasonings and our olive oil and cook the veggies. So one of the things I remember in one of my live classes a while back, a long time ago, is that the student said, Melanie, you even put the veggies into the pan mindfully and very pretty. It's like, yeah, it's all part of the mindfulness. So I think that part of my theme today, and I'm kind of liking this Thanksgiving time, is mindfulness. Let's be mindful in the kitchen. So if you have one takeaway in addition to the recipe, it's let's be mindful when we're cooking, every step of the way, when you're cooking and when you're shopping. I get really quiet with this. And well, you know what? We're not going to crowd it too much. It just might be that all the veggies don't get in. We will put the purples there. I want this to be pretty when it's cooking and also pretty when it's time to eat it, which it will be. So we are going to, peppers and tomatoes always cook really well together. And we'll put the cabbage on the end. Yum, yum. This is probably a dish for two people. And you could always do a lot more for Thanksgiving, which you will see in a moment or two. Here's our roasting pan. Little trick, underneath the cutting board, a damp paper towel so your cutting board does not slide around. And let me show you what's next. Is we're going to drizzle our fox point. I'm just in the moment right now, and I'm hoping that when you're cooking, I know when people are learning something new, it might not be quite as mindful right away, but when you're cooking, that you do take the time to pause and just be with yourself. I mean, here it is, my birthday, and this is self-care for me. So I have salt from the farmer's market in Charleston, South Carolina. One of the things that I do when I travel is I love to go to farmer's markets. So I found this salt at the farmer's market in Charleston, and it comes from the sea right out there in Charleston, and that's very cool. So with salt, let me move this over here. The reason we use salt is that it brings out the natural flavor in whatever we're cooking. We really don't want to taste salt. I know I see a lot of people, they'll like salt their dish ahead of time, and then as soon as the plate comes out, they'll add some more salt. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. Just a little bit of salt. And I like a little bit of saltiness to bring out the flavor, especially when I know I love where the salt's from. This dish probably didn't need salt, but I added some anyway, just to show you that possibility. Because if you don't want to add another seasoning, you could always just add salt, and that will bring out the natural flavor. And I'll tell you, that might be a good thing to test, is put your veggies in your pan, Only add sea salt and notice the flavor then. And then we're going to drizzle on some olive oil. Yum, yum. Ah, so good, you guys. I like I said, I love olive oil. My intuition said just add a little bit more. So that's kind of what happened. And then we gently toss, just gently toss. And the point here is to coat the veggies with the olive oil so the flavoring goes into them. And I call this method the quick roast method. The reason I call that, it is quick and easy. It is quick and easy. It's always at 425 degrees, somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes, flipping the veggies about halfway in between. And the reason I call it the quick roast method, and I love when people that I work with, say, "Oh, I'm making the quick roast method," because you put it in the oven. After about 12 or 15 minutes, you stir it around, you check it again, and it's done. And it's beautiful and delicious every time. You don't have to go back in. I mean, I'm fine with the dry roast method when we are going to like flip the veggies over. They're going to crisp brown on the outside, a little bit more tender on the inside. But with these, they're all going to get soft and they're always beautiful and the color stays pretty vibrant. I'm going to put this into the oven. It's right over here for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we're going to make our pesto. All right. So now we're going to make our pesto. And we do have a recipe guide for the pesto, so I'm going to review that with you. And this is a pesto that I've mentioned this before, but I've created for a couple of different events lately, and it is just so good and yummy that I just keep sharing it over and over again. But the thing is that it is basically a formula. You don't have to do exactly what we're doing here, but if you can't do it, if not, it's okay. So it's any fresh herbs, and parsley is always a good base, and I love cilantro, but you might use basil. Yeah, I would say basil. I haven't tried this yet. And I know this isn't an herb, but I've actually been thinking about adding a little bit of arugula for the little bit of spiciness. So you want some herbs. So I have 2 bunches of parsley here. I actually have a whole bunch of cilantro, a whole bunch. That's funny. I have 1 bunch of cilantro, but I only need about half because it's pretty strong. I have a couple of green onions. We have some garlic. We have lemon. I have my olive oil, of course. A little bit of sea salt. Yeah, and that's it. And that is it. That is it for the pesto. And I have a food processor here. So I'm just looking at this. All of this actually came from grocery stores. So I didn't have any of this from the farmer's market. To be perfectly honest, I did buy some cilantro at the farmer's market, but it didn't last. It didn't last all the days since I bought it. So I bought some grocery store. And the thing about this dish, this pesto, is that you could use it on the roasted veggies and on the recipe guide that I do have for you. You could also share it with fresh veggies, with raw veggies. And the picture that I have, let's see, which this way right here. And I think I'll just make sure you guys get to see that later. I took this to an event over in Orlando at a farm, and they loved it so much. I wrote what this one woman said. She said, "That's so pretty. It looks like art. That's so pretty. It looks like art." And it did have some of the pesto in it. It also had hummus, but you could actually use this pesto recipe with the roasted veggies that we're cooking today or with raw veggies. So to give you that idea. So this is about the simplest way to make a pesto. The pesto is really a condiment, I guess you could call it a condiment that just adds a zing, it adds flavor, and it also adds beauty. So let's get our herbs are ready. We're just going to kind of like rough cut those, but I'm going to get the other ingredients ready so that we're all set when it's time to put into the processor. So I'm going to do this first. We have a lemon. These lemons are really hard in terms of firm. So I'm going to roll the lemon. So when we're rolling the lemon, it's actually softening up those little membranes that are inside of it. And then hopefully more juice will come out. We shall see. It's really hard. I just bought these yesterday. There was 1 bag left, and that's the bag I got. But I love zest. And again, mindfulness seems to be my theme for today. So zesting your lemon, oh my gosh, you guys. mindful moment. A mindful moment, the zesting, oh my gosh, the aromatherapy is absolutely beautiful, amazing, incredible. It's so pretty. I kind of want to keep it separate from everything else. It is so beautiful. You can, I'm using the zest in this recipe, but if you're making a salad dressing, you could also use it on that. Something came to mind right now, like if you have a baked potato and you put some cashew cream on it, I think like a little zest of lemon would be great there too. I haven't done that, but that just came to mind. So we have a little bit of lemon zest, and we're going to have some lemon juice. Whew. Always love my reamer. It is a little hard. Oops. Hey guys, good lesson here. A seed just went into the bowl, which we don't want to eat the seeds. So we have a strainer. We have the strainer, which will catch any extra seeds. That's kind of funny. So far, it was only that one. A couple weeks ago, I had some lemons from a farmer's market, and there were so many there were so many seeds. I had to use more than one lemon on whatever it was I was making. There's another seed. That looks good. I'm gonna do another little bit just in case. Mm. Mm. I'll tell you, for me, the zesting is definitely the most fun part. I'll say it that way. The most fun part of taking care of the lemon here, getting the lemon set to use. So we have our lemon juice ready. I'm actually going to also get the garlic ready. So we have that. Garlic is not necessary in this recipe, but I love garlic, so that's why we're doing it, of course, right? If you love garlic, I have some friends and relatives that love, 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 love garlic so much. They will probably put more garlic than I ever would in here, but a little bit of garlic. Yeah. Grocery store, bought this yesterday. And what I like to do, put the garlic flat, press it with the knife, and then the skin will be easier to get off. Simple, simple, simple culinary here. Every single thing that I'm cutting into right now has that beautiful aromatherapy. So yeah, I have that aromatherapy of the garlic now. We just had the lemon and now we have the garlic. Yum, yum. Just do that a little bit more. So really the outer layer really comes off easier when you press the garlic with the back of your knife first. And really pause. I mean, seriously, every step of the way, pause and enjoy the aromatherapy, even if it is garlic. We're going to slice these. Whew, this is a strong garlic. So it's interesting. We did have some in the kitchen, and I thought, you know what? For this event, we're going to have some new garlic. And I am really glad that I did. All right. We do have a little Band-Aid here. Take care of that. Always eyes down when you're chopping with your knife. Of course, we're going to chop this a little bit. Again, and totally enjoying the aromatherapy. So we have our garlic ready. We're going to get our onions ready. Oh my gosh, I know, again, a lot of people enjoy more onions than I do, but I really have learned with this recipe, the onions really add some really great flavor to the pesto. So keep those. All right. So, and we have our parsley now. Gosh, this is a big, 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 big bunch of parsley. I'm just going to rough cut that. There is the oven telling me it's time to check the veggies. So let's kind of see where we are with the veggies. So these are the veggies roasting at 425 degrees, probably for about 15 minutes, I think. Oh my gosh. And they are smelling good. Like, seriously, this is one of those where I'm going, oh, I wish everybody was here. However, I will give you a little hint. I'm going to be holding retreats. So if it ever gets to the point where you want to come and cook together, I'll be hosting retreats down here in Florida. Look at that. Yum. That's going to go back in for a little while. I'm just looking at this parsley. That seems like a lot of parsley, but we'll do a little bit more. So you'll see that when we process all the ingredients, they get a lot smaller. And I'm going to take a half a bunch of the cilantro. Again, I'm just so into cilantro. I mean, having spent a lot of time in Arizona, 20 years plus Arizona State, I think cilantro will also always be one of my favorite herbs. And I have lots of basil growing in the garden. So let's kind of go through our list again, just to make sure our list on our recipe guide. We have our parsley, we have our cilantro, we have our onions, we have our garlic, we have our lemon juice, we have our sea salt, and we have olive oil. And that's it. That's it for the simple pesto. All right. Now, next step. So we have our food processor. And what I'm going to do is literally simply put all of the ingredients into the processor. Oh my gosh, you guys, just touching the parsley and smelling the aromatherapy of the cilantro is heavenly to me. Like, this is like Melanie's joy of celebrating on my birthday. Oh my goodness. So we have our herbs in there. I'm going to put the onions, along with the garlic. Wow. You could also add nuts and seeds if you want, but I would always do this first, get the flavor base first. And we're going to add our lemon juice. A little bit of sea salt. And that's it for now. So let me show you this. Oh, there, it just went. Hang on. There's a little bit of the herb that was caught on the top of the processor that was kind of staying up there. But oh my God, the aromatherapy, all I could say, this smells like green. Like, if I could say herbs, someone cutting the lawn with herbs, this would be the aroma right now. So amazing. So what we do is we have our base, and then what I like to do last is stream in the olive oil. So we're just going to stream in some, turn the processor on. I love olive oil, so I think I put extra in there. Oh, pause. I feel like I have to look at you. Pause and enjoy the aromatherapy. Like, seriously, it is so amazing. I'm going to taste this. So what I've learned from some students of mine a long time ago. So we're not double dipping. We're going to put some on our wrist. Do a little taste. And wow, I can feel the garlic. What we're doing right now is we're thinking, oh, does it need a little bit more olive oil? Oh, does it need a little bit more sea salt? Oh, does it need a little bit more lime? And for me right now, this is so good. I kind of feel the power of the green. I can taste the garlic, and I feel like there's a balance with the lime or the lemon and the olive oil. So that is great. We're going to since this was so quick and easy, guys, I'm literally just going to put this in a little bowl for us right now. And it will be ready for our plating. Oh, I am looking forward to making this again for Thanksgiving. Oh, I hope you all enjoy it. Okay, so we are yum, yum, yum. So again, if you want, you could add nuts to it. I'm thinking almonds would be good. Walnuts are always good. Oh, I have a surprise for you, just like a cooking show. I pre-cooked some veggies for us. So we have some 2 pans of roasted veggies, all of the same ones that I cooked with you, but I pre-did these just to make sure we would be ready. So I have 2 roasting pans with our beautiful farmer's veggies. We have the beets, we have the potatoes, we have the radishes, we have the tomatoes. There's a lot here. We have the cabbage, the purple cabbage, the Brussels sprouts, and the beans. Oh, and the peppers. So, and we have our pesto. Those are all of our ingredients ready for our plating. So for me, this gets to be the really next level to create a beautiful time for Thanksgiving. What I invite you to do is think about what you're going to display your Thanksgiving dish on. So I have a couple of options here to give you all some ideas. One idea, I love this beautiful shell plate. Bought this at the thrift shop. Love it. Another idea might be a wooden plate. And my brother Jack was kind enough to go out and harvest a banana leaf for me out in my dad's garden. So you could have a banana leaf and put the veggies on the banana leaf. Let me go back to that one. Yeah, this is a pretty big banana leaf. So you could cut it down. Another idea could be a board and put the banana leaf on the board. If you don't have a banana leaf, I know a lot of people are not going to have banana leaves. You could use collard greens or kale. Collard greens are really good because they're pretty big, and you can line some collard greens up and have like the top of it on one end, top of it on the other, and then whatever works in the middle. So a board. Another idea that we have here today is this beautiful dish. So pretty. And what I was thinking, if we'd use like a pretty plate like this, you could always put your pesto in a little dish and have the veggies around and the pesto in the middle. I think I might practice a little bit or show you guys some ideas with that. But what I wanted to do today with you is show you my favorite dish of the day right now, or of the week, or of the season, is this beautiful shell tray. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how to plate. So, first, choose a plate that you love, one that it could be meaningful for you, and a family heirloom or something that you've used at many Thanksgivings with your family over the years. It could be something, the thrift shop, that's what it was called. It could be something that you just picked up at the thrift shop recently. I've recently moved to Florida, and my mom had a lot of shell things here in this house, and I'm adding to the shell, kind of like to the shell look and feel. So I'm loving that. Another thing, it might be, oh, if you want a more rustic kind of feel, you use wood. Or maybe it's something new. You just go out shopping and you go, oh, I love that dish. So make it yours. I think the most important thing is to make it yours and make it something that you're proud to share with your family and friends. So now when we get to the plating the vegetables, what I like to do, I'm just going for the purple right now. I don't know why. I like to go with some of the larger veggies first, and I'm going to save some of the cabbage just because it's so pretty. And what I like to do is put them on the plate. I'm not going to say randomly. The word would be more in a flow, so that they're just flowing. And I'm kind of going, oh, because I'm literally feeling the beauty of it. I'm already enjoying the process. Another thing that you might do is And I often do this, and I think it's really important, especially when you have some veggies that are larger than others. So the beets are a little bit larger, so I'm placing them down first. So that's something to think about. Another thing that you could do if you like olive, like if you just want to have a purple plate, just do a purple plate. But for me, what I'm looking at for this dish, because I think there'll be a lot of different people coming for Thanksgiving at everybody's places, is that you want something for everyone. So if somebody doesn't care for one veggie, they care for another one, and they can pick and choose from what's on the plate. But Flo, the baby cabbage, like I call it, the Brussels sprouts, and then I'm adding more purple. So there's a lot of purple in this dish. I mentioned in some of my marketing that one of the things that really pops for me is the cabbage. And I think in general, it's always having something purple. Purple is an unusual color that a lot of people don't eat with veggies. And it just, I don't know, it's just kind of special. And then we have, wow, our watermelon radishes. I'm going to kind of make that not quite so in a row. That was not intentional. Let's put some of the red radishes in there too. Yeah. Whew. I'm getting hungry. My mouth is literally watering right now while I'm playing this. Oh dear. So much fun. I hope you all have as much fun with food as I do. Yeah. Let's see. More. This is where I get a little bit more quiet, even when I'm teaching. You can see because it becomes very mindful and you want to be in the moment. So notice these are smaller veggies. We still have some more Brussels sprouts. I haven't done anything with the tomatoes yet. They're going to go over here they'll pop out the green over here. That kind of a little bit Christmassy, even though we're not quite in that season. Salivating. So it's so funny. I probably shouldn't tell you guys this, but sometimes I'll see my pictures on social media and I'll start salivating and I'll go, that's crazy. That was my dish. And I get excited when I see it. So we have some tomatoes. Mm. There. Let's see what else. Oh, and the peppers. Remember the peppers. So this is how the purple peppers turned out. And there's some green ones there as well. So they got a little bit more translucent, but oh, so beautiful. And I'm hoping that when you serve something like this to your family and friends, they're going to go, "Oh, wow, that's so beautiful." And they're going to want to know how you did it and maybe do it again. We have some more. We have some more beets. Oh, all right. A few more green beans. And I think that is enough of that. So, another thing that I'd like to show you before we finish up here. So, we have some figs. A lot of people that know me know that I am big on figs these days. So, I love to add figs to my dishes. So, we're going to cut some figs. They are great for the sweetness. They're also really great for the beauty. And they're just so unique and pretty. So we have the figs. And I also decided nuts and seeds are really great. So I pulled out some cashew. So we're going to add some pesto. Pop of color, bonus flavor to the dish, like seriously. Just in a little bit of flow. I wish you could smell this, but boy, when you make it, you're going to be happy. I can guarantee that. And you're going to wish you made more, and then you will make more. I can guarantee that as well. So we have a little bit of pesto. We'll put some figs in, kind of like around the pesto. Again, mindfulness. When we're doing this, it's really great to be in the moment. If you like music playing, music is great. Let's see, put some more there. I feel like I need some over here. So one of the things about I call this food art, making the dish really pretty, almost too pretty to eat, is that intuitively you're going to go, oh yeah, I think I want it something over there. And you will intuitively know, like honestly, even without a lot of practice, you're going to, oh yeah, I think I need something there. So we'll put some nuts in, cashews. I know I make a beautiful, and I've taught this so many times, a beautiful carrot cake with cashews as the quote dough. But I've just been into cashews. So I love cashews. Let's see. I feel like we need something over here. Kind of take our eyes out there. Yeah, that works. I will cut another piece of the fig. Yeah, a little fig. All right. So let me show you this by itself. So there's our dish. So what I invite you to do now, and I'm just going to let you enjoy the dish for a moment, is pause a moment and think about what you've learned today, whether it be about getting excited with the food at the farmers markets, like I always do, to enjoying the chopping of the veggies into the unique shapes and sizes for the roasted veggies, to this very simple quick roast method where you can cook all kinds of veggies all year round with the same method, and it's always going to be beautiful and tasty every single time you make it. I can guarantee that. To a simple pesto, like a simple pesto that probably took less than 2 minutes to make. And today we had the parsley and the cilantro, and I'm kind of laughing because I can still smell it. To the simple beauty of choosing your own plate. Like, what would you like to, or how would you like to present your beautiful dish to your family and friends for Thanksgiving? Really choose something that is meaningful to you. And like I did, you could go to a thrift shop and buy something, or you could find a family heirloom that you really love, and then maybe add your pesto and add a few extras. I'm literally loving figs all the time now, and I always love to add nuts and seeds, especially when there's not any in the pesto. So yeah, I'm just going to take a deep breath in and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Open your eyes if they were closed. And I would really, from my heart to yours, I am so thankful that you're here today with me and honored. And I'm so honored to share my passion with you around creating beautiful food to share with your family and friends from the farm to the kitchen to the table. So please send me a note if you want to learn more. Um, if you would like me to spend some one-on-one time with you, I'm happy to do that. So say you're getting ready for Thanksgiving and you're going, Melanie, I have a question. I don't remember this. I don't remember that. Or you have an idea around your plating and you're going, I don't know exactly what to do. I'm happy to spend some time with you. So send me a note. Most of the people here that I'm communicating with already know me. So yeah, I'm happy to help over the next couple weeks before, well, no, it's only a week away from Thanksgiving. And again, for Thanksgiving, I shouldn't even say again, but for Thanksgiving, for my birthday to you is to really enjoy food, enjoy family, enjoy your friends, and create beautiful food from the farm to the kitchen to the table. And my apron today says, thankful for family, friends, and food. Thankful for family, friends, and food. Enjoy food and love beautiful food. It's Melanie Albert. Take care, my friends.